Welcome back to another Coach's Corner. With me today is women's basketball coach Mike Brandt. So Mike, you played in two nail-biters again to open the season last weekend at the Holly Tractor and Crescent Automotive Conference. How do you feel about those games?
Well, they were really close games, and every team that was there got a win and a loss. We could have easily been 0-2. On the other hand, we could have easily been 2-0 with a couple minor adjustments. So it was really good. Those are the good teams. The teams we played, Anderson was in the NCAA tournament last year. Came back, they have another strong team. Mount Olive was in the NCAA tournament last year. They got to the semifinals in the regional tournament and beat the number 8 team in the country. So they're coming off a great year and very confident with 4 starters returning. So we lost the game against them, but to be playing at that caliber and that level this early for the young team that we have and the new people that we have, I was pleased in some areas, of course, because we were competitive, but as you look at it from a coaching standpoint and watch the DVD, there's just so many things that we can work on and we can improve from that. So it's encouraging. I hate that we lost. It's nice to be 2-0. It would be nice, but I think we're going to learn a lot and it's going to make us a better team.
Absolutely. And speaking of having a younger squad, you do have a fairly young squad. How does that affect the team or the upcoming season, excuse me?
Well, it affects a lot. You get some things from practices, some reads, and then you get a couple scrimmages in there and you get some reads, but nothing really is secured or figured out until you get in the game type situation, the real games with the officials, the crowd, the noise and everything. And then you see how your players respond. You see who plays well together. You see who steps up a level of playing and who drops down, who gets a little nervous, who may get a little gun shy to shoot it, who wants to shoot it in the clutch, and who wants to handle the ball, And so the first few games here, we're going to just be sorting things out and trying to kind of go on the fly, pick who's playing, the best and what combinations do we have. So it's going to be very interesting with that without much experience coming back. It's just kind of a guessing game here early. Or on the other hand, Mount Olive with 4 returning starters. I mean, they've got their 4 starters, and they plug one other person in there, and so they're pretty secure with that. Whereas we just kind of have to go on the fly, and we start a particular player, and if she's not playing very well, somebody else comes in that may be playing great, and that happened with Carly Gilreath. She came in the first game, I guess it was in the second half, and played at the point guard, which she hasn't played a ton of point guard. She kind of split time in practice with the point and shooting guard. But she came in because we were kind of struggling in that position, and she played great. She didn't turn the ball over. She got the ball up the floor. She hit a couple shots.
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, hey, that's somebody, wow, she's going to be fighting for a starting position and putting some pressure on the other point guard. So, and that was kind of a surprise, and the others may have been in the other way that we expected more from them and didn't quite get that. So when you turn the lights on, get the scoreboard and the referees, then that's kind of what you base your decisions on as we go through this.
Okay. And is there anything that you do in practice to particularly prepare these girls for games like that? Any special, playing tape of old games where it's loud and the girls are getting used to that kind of sound? Is there anything like that you do to prepare them?
Well, I think not necessarily the sound as much as we may put them in situations where we may play some 4-minute games, 2-minute games, play the last 2 minutes and execute, what are you going to do in the last 2 minutes. And that's another thing that they have to figure out also, because my style of coaching a lot of times is that I like to, for instance, on the last second shot that we had the other night, we said if they make it and tie and go up by 3, we want a timeout. We're going to sub and set some things up. If they miss one of the free throws, we want to get it and push the ball before run the fast break and get a shot. Well, they missed it and we pushed it up with the floor, but we didn't get a shot off, and so we just kind of scrambled there, and that's something that they need to know, that in situations like that, they're going to be called upon to run our fast break and stay spread out and do what they normally should be doing, and not vary that and do anything different and get in trouble where we don't get a shot off. So that's another part of the game that they'll learn, and they'll learn my style of coaching, along with their style of play. So, but as you asked the question, we do a lot of last second shot clock on last second situations, and
okay.
I think that's important to get them to feel as much game type situations as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And is there any particular player that you think will be standing out a lot for you this season?
Well, I think the 2 that probably stepped up this weekend, Mackenzie Reese and Portia Martin, that's no surprise. Those are ones coming into the season that we definitely thought they would be there, and we need for them to be there, especially early in the season as we're developing the team. I think they've stepped up and have done a great job here. I do think they played too many minutes this weekend. In the second game, they played too many minutes, and that's a scenario where we need to have some of the younger players, some of the other players have got to come in and produce and have some productive minutes to give them a rest. Right now we have a couple that are kind of struggling and maybe lacking some confidence, and they need to regain that confidence. we as coaches have confidence in all our players. That's why we recruit them. That's why we have them on the team. So
Yeah.
a lot of the times, they just kind of get down on themselves. But we need some of those players to really step up, to give Portion, to give Mackenzie a breather, so that they're much more productive instead of being out there when they're tired.
Absolutely. And against Mount Olive, you did trail by double figures, but you came back to take the lead in those final 2 minutes. What would you say, even though you did not pick up the win, what would you say to your team after a game like that?
Well, you hate to not get the win. You work that hard and come back, and so you want to get the win. And on this instance, though, I think that you have to give them a ton of credit and a ton of praise for making that comeback. Because of being a new team, being a young team, it's easy just to they're down by 16, and give up and quit, and not so much just quit, but maybe not keep fighting and fighting. But I think that shows a lot about the character of our team as we develop our character and our personality of this team. It shows great respect that the other opponents are going to have, that Aiken will keep coming at you. And that's part of Pacer basketball, that we try to teach them. And you can't really be a part of Pacer basketball, the brand of basketball that we want to play, until you play. You can talk about it all the time, but until you play in the games and learn how to play hard and compete all the time, that's something that you have to get experience in doing. So for this group to come back like that, I think it was great. And like I said earlier, that was a good basketball team. So I'll reiterate to them that we got beat by a very good basketball team and had chances to win it. So, and also I think sometimes when you do lose like this, it hurts. I think we've had some players that are walking around Saturday night, Sunday, and they were hurting and watching DVDs and learning and hey, what did we do wrong? Can we do this? And in my mind, I think we studied that a lot more Sunday and today, Monday, and in practice Monday night. We studied that a lot more. We worked a lot harder on that. So because we lost, had we have made the game winner and won it, I don't think those players would have been studying as much and everything. I think they would have been satisfied with the win and let's go with the next one. So we're going to use it to make us better as a basketball team.
Absolutely. And Carly Gilreath, that's how you say that,
Yes.
right? Okay. And she came off the bench and played very well in both games. Is that something that you've seen her do in practices, or was that kind of unexpected for you?
Kind of unexpected. I know she's a good player, but again, those are unknowns. In practice, sometimes she can look great, and other times not so great. But she really stepped up her level of play in game type situations. So as we pursued here, she has moved up the ladder a little bit because of her competitiveness and the way she operated and played out there. So she's definitely stepping in the right direction, and that was a very pleasant surprise for us.
That's excellent. And you do have a squad full of newcomers. We talked about that earlier, 2 who have earned their start. And during practice, Mariah Durian to come in and hit 5 3-point shots. Is that something big for the team that you're looking for more in the season? Players like that to step up?
Absolutely. She came in, we recruit her as a scorer, and that's going to be her job there. I think she knows that. She's a very good player, but she's going to be a great player by the time she gets out of here. And there's some things that she definitely needs to work on. She turned the ball over quite a bit this weekend, and the thing about basketball is, if you have a weakness and you play a game, it's going to be exposed because everybody can watch the DVDs and watch and get access to them. So they're going to know that when Mariah gets the ball, if you double team her, you have a good chance of getting the turnover.
Yeah.
And so, it's just like every time she got it, if they had a chance to double team the second night, they did it because they were successful with it in the first game. So she's got some areas to improve there. And then, it's kind of funny, but when you have a scorer, you also have to make that scorer be unselfish and be an assist player.
Yeah.
Because I think right now I don't know that she has an assist in either of the 2 games, and in order to be a really great scorer, she has to know that when she does get double teamed, somebody comes, she's got to dish it off for somebody else to score.
Yeah.
When she learns that and figures that out and gets some assists in there, then it's going to open it up for her to drive all the way to the basket without help. So that's something that she'll just have to work at and adjust, and I have a lot of confidence she will do that. But it's kind of funny because in order for her to score more points, she needs to get more assists, which if on paper you think, wow, that doesn't make much sense, but in the real life basketball, that's going to open up for her, and she'll be allowed to score more by doing that.
Absolutely, build her confidence as well. And let's see, you have other options on the last play, or you had other options on the last play with Mackenzie Reese, going to take the shot. What other options were those?
Well, it was 14, this is the Anderson game, I think, or was this the...
Yes, the Anderson game.
The Anderson game, we had our sideline, so we ran our sideline out of bounds, which has many different options. We threw it at the corner, I think it was Mackenzie up in the corner, and then looking inside to Portia. We have an inside person looking inside there. As we reverse it around, we always have our inside person looking, communicating, trying to get eye contact and work for position to pass it into them. And then we didn't designate anybody to get the shot.
Yeah.
And that's my philosophy, is that first open shot, we got to shoot it. We had 14 seconds left. And so they moved it, and then fortunately they got to Mackenzie, and she attacked on the penetration and did a great job and wound up getting a great shot. So it was successful. Now the next night we didn't get that type of shot. The first time we had the possession against Mount Olive, and we ended up taking not a very good shot. There were 3 people on one person when she shot it. And, you know, that's something that you got to show them. Late in the game there, you got 2 people on you, somebody's open. So we'll be able to watch the DVD and, you know, freeze it right there. And she's got 3, there's another person open here, another one there. And that's something that they will just learn and be able to read that and communicate, make one more pass. Somebody gets an open shot. If they hit it, you win. If they don't, you have a good chance for a rebound. But you just want to make sure, number 1, that you get a shot off, and number 2, that it's a good shot.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you taking time to talk to us, as always, and we hope to get to chat with you again soon in the upcoming season. Thanks again for watching another Coach's Corner. For Coach Brandt, I'm Kimberly Temple.